Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the most influential card games of all time, only contested by Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and Uno. It influenced so many kids of my generation to wear Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards around their necks like gang signs for elementary schoolers, got us building our own duel discs out of cardboard, and gave the youth of America a serious gambling problem. So the first episode must have been perfect, not only getting viewers hooked on the show, but also overpriced pieces of paper, and it was perfect. But I say that like a mother would. So together let's take a look back at the first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! And yes, I will be watching it the way it was meant to be seen. The 4Kids English dub way.
If at first you don't succeed, blast them with your blue eyes again!
First is the classic English opening. During this time period, when America received an IP, they would completely change the opening from the Japanese one. The English opening had a staggering word count of 7 unique words, while sounding like Porky Pig wrote the lyrics.
It's time to duel, folks!
Still, one of the best openings in anime history. It starts with Yugi and Joey playing a friendly card game.
Hey, Tristan, Yugi here's teaching me how to play Duel Monsters.
Dueling monsters?
Yugi easily wins his duel with Joey since it is his first duel and
I just have better cards.
Filthy pay-to-win user. Yugi's grandpa happens to own a children's casino, so Yugi says after school they should all go see his grandpa's super rare card.
Rare card? My special card?
However, this conversation was overheard by Seto Kaiba while he was reading book. Let me just fix that. Kaiba is a rich quadrillionaire, owner of one of the largest corporations in the world. What is he doing in school, and not even a private school at that? He owns a company already. This is like becoming a doctor and then going back to major in dance. Eventually they show up to see the card.
Rare card? My special card?
I love that line so much.
Ready? Here it is.
No, Grandpa, your other special card.
The Blue Eyes White Dragon. So rare, so powerful, I never let it leave my hands.
There are only 4 of these cards in the entire world. There are only 5 of these cards in the entire world. Kaiba shows up, demanding the card.
Rare card? My special card?
Since Yugi's grandpa won't trade his rare card for a lot of common cards, Kaiba sends the penguin to abduct him, forcing him to duel for ownership of his rare card, his special card. This is why Kaiba has my utmost respect. Oh, not because of this, not even because he put his little brother in a VR game as a princess, but because he made a card of himself calling it Kaiba Man, which isn't relevant to anything, but I thought I'd mention it.
But I'll teach him a lesson about the heart of the cards.
Yugi then returns to the card shop where the phone is ringing.
Your grandfather's here visiting, but he's not feeling well. Why don't you come by my office and pick him up?
Kaiba!
This is funny for 3 reasons. 1, he was calling the card shop, which is run by the person he abducted, so who was supposed to pick up? 2, either he happened to call the moment Yugi walked in, or he has been repeatedly calling that number waiting for someone to pick up. And 3, he didn't say where his office was. This is like me going to Trump Tower saying, "Let me speak to the owner." When they arrive, Kaiba rips the blue eyes in half so it can't be used against him.
Rare card? My special card?
I will say, that was pretty stupid. Sure, you can only have 3 of the same cards in a deck, but what if you leave one in your pants when they get washed? That's why you always keep one in your wallet just in case. Still, my favorite part of this is how Yugi's grandpa is just lying on the ground in pain. He even gets taken away in an ambulance. Where is the bodily harm coming from? You lost in a children's card game, not something serious like Monopoly. Before he's taken away, he gives Yugi his deck, telling him to teach Kaiba the heart of the cards.
You're giving me the same deck that you just lost with? Yes. No alterations? None. Can I at least get like 3 pot of greeds? No, these are my rare cards, my special cards.
I don't know.
Trust me, you're like the best player I've ever seen.
Joey, buddy, you've quite literally seen one person play this game. The bar is not high. Anyone else got some inspiration while we're here?
Everyone, put your hands together, and I'll mark us with a special sign. It's a symbol of our friendship.
Yeah, sure, why not? Before the battle begins, Yugi activates his split personality disorder.
He just grew like 10 inches and has a completely different voice. Puberty hits fast, I guess.
I will now briefly explain the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! So that you can follow along. It's a turn-based game where you start with 5 cards, drawing 1 card at the start of each of your turns. There are 2 types of cards: spell cards, which cause some type of effect, and monster cards for attacking and defending. You can summon 1 monster card per turn, and if they have more than 4 stars, you must sacrifice at least 1 other monster to summon it. To win the game, you must reduce the opponent's life points to 0 by attacking. They aren't gonna follow any of these rules, so I did just do all of this for nothing. Kaiba starts by summoning his first monster. Anything you'd like to say, Yugi?
So this is how you beat my grandfather.
Yeah, Yugi, that's how you win, by summoning monsters. Yugi summons a monster, attacking, dealing 200 damage to Kaiba, who in return summons a clown using a spell card that multiplies its attack by 3. This card shouldn't exist. Yugi, what are you thinking right now?
He's good. He knows every aspect of this game.
He used a single broken spell card, but I guess this is how kids feel when they're playing against an adult in Scrabble. Fast forward, and Yugi summons Gaia, the Fierce Knight. Wait. And if they have more than 4 stars, you must sacrifice at least 1 other monster to summon it. So you can just summon any card that you get? Why did you put any of these cards in your deck? Just fill it with Cyber Dragons and Mirror Forces. Kaiba then summons 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons on the same turn. Wait. You can summon 1 monster card per turn. But that's not the funniest part, because this implies that he had at least 1 Blue Eyes in his hand earlier but chose not to summon it. After stalling, a flashback of Yugi's grandpa appears. Is he dead? Then the ghost of his grandpa appears. No, seriously, is he dead? He tells Yugi that if he collects all 5 pieces of Exodia, he will instantly win the game, a feat that has never been accomplished. Which is weird, because it happened to me frame 1 of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Online. But the deck senses Yugi's doubt. Friendship tattoo? That got rid of all his doubts.
Draw your last pathetic card so I can end this, Yugi.
My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba, but it does contain
Fuck! Not now, Karibo.
the unstoppable Exodia.
Then Exodia came out, turning Kaiba into Withers from Baldur's Gate. These are still holograms, for the record. Whatever, Yugi won. I hope he doesn't do anything weird after winning.
Open your mind!
Did he just mind break Kaiba? At that moment, Yugi's grandpa woke up from his coma, saying, Yugi won. No, seriously, was he dead? To understand why the first episode was so discombobulated, we need to look at the manga. Yugi, cut that out! And why do you look like a retired crack dealer? Yu-Gi-Oh! Roughly translates to King of Games, and the original concept wasn't about 1 card game, but a variety of games. Chicken with a knife, coin collecting with a scorpion in a shoe, and go fish. This is why there are no solid rules in place, because it was probably meant to be a one-off game. Luckily, it was inconsequential, because kids watching were still interested in it even if it made no sense. Just like how nobody on this earth knows how to play the Pokemon card game, but you bet your Adam's apple we collected them all. It's important to mention that this was aired on 4Kids, who is known for many things.
Good. I'll cook us up some reindeer steaks.
But the main thing is censorship. And there was a lot to censor in the original manga, which started out as a horror manga with Yugi being more like Jigsaw.
I want to play a game. The loser loses his life. Each of us can only move 1 finger.
The game ended with that guy burning alive, by the way. Not only that, but in the manga, he seals Kaiba inside of a card, saying he will experience something similar to death. What was in there? Probably Spectrum Internet. As you can tell, the Japanese anime is a censored version of the manga, and the 4Kids version is a censored version of that. So, what did 4Kids censor? Well, they turned guns into finger guns, they censored Dark Magician Girl, some random stuff, and quite a bit of dialogue for some reason. Like, instead of this guy's family dying in an accident, they survived and just forgot about him, which I think is worse. But the biggest censorship may have been the greatest to ever do it, Joey Wheeler. Well, not really, because his name was censored from Katsuya Jonoichi to Joey Wheeler, a guy from Brooklyn. This is a nostalgia watch. It's not good if you didn't grow up with it like I did. I still quote so many lines from this show every day.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
Even though it had an unorthodox start, it would develop into one of the most influential anime of all time. It would go on to hold the world record for the largest number of people participating in a tournament in a single venue. That same day, it also received the record for the smelliest venue. Many people have a favorite episode that changed their perception on life, but to me, this is my favorite episode.
Blah blah blah.
Wow, they've said some rather harsh things about my fellow billionaire Seto Kaiba. They say that a Blue Eyes White Dragon plane is a gross misuse of funds. Quite frankly, I think it's a great use of funds. They say that his little brother was put into a VR game as a princess. Quite frankly, I've seen the girl. They look nothing alike, and she is quite lovely. I'm doing this voice for another 4 years.